The way that we're actually getting at it at Hartford is through our strategic planning initiative, where we're doing some work with identifying 6 high-impact practices that we're scaffolding throughout the 4 years of a student's undergraduate experience.
I definitely was given the groundwork to really understand what I was going to do and how I could really take these fundamental building blocks and apply them to aspects of history that I'm really focused on in the world of musicology.
My experience has been that signature work is a little bit more broadly understood, that I think it really does take into account the student's interests, the students creating the project, the student driving the project. Whereas perhaps traditionally things are a little bit more already regimented.
We just get to talk about important things that we really haven't had many opportunities to do so in other classes, and I think it's really important that we do have that time to express our opinions and hear other people's.
One of the things that we're really concerned about is that, sure, faculty will say, yeah, I'm doing a collaborative assignment in my class. But we want to take a closer look at and see how closely is that high-impact practice tie into the infidelity with what we think are going to be the critical components of making that as high-impact as possible, and give us a sense of exactly where their course might lie. And then from that to figure out what elements are going to be critical for student success and which elements we may or may not need to invest in.
My AUC courses have definitely given me leadership skills and definitely public speaking, which is really important, especially because I do want to go into business, and also just learning how to be a good listener and a good student, just following up with other people, with group projects, things like that. A lot of other things we wouldn't necessarily be doing in some basic economics classes, things like that.
The learning outcomes that I'm really hoping my students get is a sense of thinking out of the box, experiential learning, that they can take an idea and adapt it and refine it and reframe it and integrate multiple perspectives at all times.
That we have very different colleges with very different personalities, very different curriculums, very different goals, and yet when you bring us together, we learn from each other in sort of wonderful ways.
It's also going to be providing professional development so that folks are really aware of what are the cutting edge aspects and the best practices that are out there, so they can cherry pick from that what's going to be most helpful for their program to move forward.